Computer. Perfect. All right. Well, welcome to our Monday night team call. I am Dr. Ember Butel. I'm a chiropractor here in the St. Louis area, and I have been taking and sharing Juice Plus now for 10 years. And it has been such a fun journey, such a fun ride, and I'm so grateful and blessed to be a part of this community. So I'm going to put it on speaker. Okay, we are in speaker view. Awesome. All right. Well, I just want to welcome you guys. Thank you for taking your time out tonight to listen in. We gather every single week at 9 p.m. Central Time to learn and grow as a team. So tonight I will be interviewing Miss Julie Zilke, and I want to tell you guys just a little bit about Julie. So Julie graduated from Hope College with a degree in teaching, which she promptly put to use in Las Vegas, Nevada. She was nominated as a new teacher of the year her first year there and ended up being her only year teaching, as she quickly discovered that teaching was not her thing. Imagine that, right? She moved back to Michigan, where she excelled in sales at Icon Office Solutions. Once married, she began staying at home and raising her children. Seeing that there are 8 of them, it is easily a full-time job. So she began homeschooling her children 13 years ago and never looked back. She actually did have a future as a teacher, after all, she did become a teacher. She also runs a farm-to-table co-op serving over 100 local families and is passionate about helping others source clean local food. In her free time, she loves to read, cook, knit, and take really long walks on the beach. I added that, on the beach. Okay, so what I like about Julie is that she is always ready to listen. What I love about Julie is that she loves Jesus, and it shows through her servant-hearted leadership. What I admire about Julie is that she makes time for her business and leads an amazing team while also raising babies. There are 8 of them, eight children. So her and her team recently achieved QNMD, which is Qualified National Marketing Director. So I'm so excited for you to learn from her tonight. So Julie, if you're there, first, we would love to hear your product and business story. What got you interested in Juice Plus?
All right. Well, thank you for that warm welcome. So fun. Well, my baby is graduating this week, which is why I won't be taking a long walk on the beach with you all in Carillon Beach, but I'm so excited for you guys. So thank you. Yeah. All right. So product and business story. Many of you guys have heard this. I've been just privileged to be able to share it many times at the BYOBs at Jeanette's, but for those who haven't heard it, and maybe if you have, you'll take something else away from it. So first is my product story, because that's how I found Juice Plus, was when my son was hospitalized. And it was 4 years ago, last month, that he was in the pediatric intensive care unit, and he was there for the 4th time in his little life, and things weren't getting better, they were getting worse. He was staying longer and everything was more intense. So when I was sitting down at the doctor's office, finally getting a diagnosis officially of asthma, and he's writing prescriptions like they're going out of style and sending me home with 4 of them, I am really serious about finding another option, because in my research of connecting disease with nutrition, I really had discovered that asthma was autoimmune and there was a root cause to it, and I needed to figure out what that was, and the steroids were only going to manage his symptoms. They weren't going to help get to the deeper issue. So at that point, I started listening a little more closely to Julie Muse, who many of you know, all of you know, and she was my neighbor and friend, and I had been politely listening about Juice Plus and inquiring about her community because I was genuinely interested in her, but I was not interested in the product. And so for those of you that have people in your life who think they know better and who kind of turn their nose up, I'm just here to encourage you that don't ever write those people off, because that was me. And I know Julie is so grateful that she kept on sharing and didn't let my nope, not for me sort of answers deter her. So finally, she got a little more bold, I think, and just said, hey, you could get this for free. Would you just at least try it? What does it hurt? And so I said, okay. So we started taking Juice Plus with absolutely no expectation, because you guys, I didn't think it was anything good. So I had no expectations. I thought it wasn't going to do anything, but I've never been so grateful to be wrong in my life, because 4 to 6 months went by and all those asthma attacks just started getting better. So Elijah hasn't had an asthma attack in over 2 years, and he never did have to take those steroids. They are expired in the back of my cupboard. And I'm not sure why I even hang on to them, but I just feel like, well, maybe something would happen. And so then I started looking into the research on the product, and I had a great experience too. When I was pregnant, lost my anemia for the first time in my adult life. And so I wanted our whole family to take it, but our whole family is 10 people, and that is a whole lot of Juice Plus. And so I'm thinking we have got to get this at a better price. We, at the same time, are looking for ways to increase our income, because my family, all of them were eating more at the same time. So the budget was just growing. So I had pursued becoming a doula and had done that. But you know what? That was bringing in like $500 a month. And it was like I was pregnant once a month, because my life just would like erupt for 24 hours and I'd have to leave. And it just wasn't right for that season. I'm still super passionate about it, but it wasn't the right fit for the season. So when I took a look at this, I thought, I wonder if this could be an answer. And I, as I was having a good experience, I knew I had a story to share and I was going to tell people. So I asked Julie, what would it mean to partner? And she shared. And then I asked Julie about the next step, and she shared. And every step of the way, you know, I just looked at that next step. Now, we did have real goals when it came to this, because we looked and we thought, we started in January, could we increase my income? Could we be making $1,000 at the end of the first year? And that was 2018. And that's what happened. We were making $1,000 a month at the end of the first year. And so the next year we thought, would the goal $2,000 a month? Would that be a good goal for us? And we said, yeah, let's go for it. Let's just keep doing the things we'll talk about in a little bit and see what we can do. And that happened in 2019, and then $3,000 a month in 2020. And along the way, just the different promotions coming. So that's how I got involved in the business. But again, just going back, I was not interested in the beginning. So that's my encouragement to you, is never give up on that person that you could see doing this.
Wow, that is amazing. So I love what you said. I'm already taking notes. So guys, if you're not taking notes, pick up your pen and start writing notes. So asthma, she wanted to get to the root cause. Don't write off those people that tell you no. We know what no means. No means not yet. No more asthma, no more anemia, increased income that's flexible, amazing. And then I love that you were like, income goal 1,000, income goal year 2, 2,000, income goal year 3, 3,000. That's amazing. So wow, that's awesome. All right, well, I have some great questions lined up for you. So what are some success habits that you implement on a monthly basis? And really, let's start with like, how do you find new customers?
Okay, yeah. So how do I find new customers? I think, I mean, you kind of hit on it in the beginning, is just listening, right? I think the best people are the people that listen well. And I know it's hard because we have all this information to share, but if we can just listen and ask good questions. I love to ask questions, and it's in asking questions that I learn. And honestly, Julie Muse is really a master at this too. And I think about our friendship, and she always inquired. She was always interested. And I think that's how people come to trust you, that you took time. And so it's building a relationship. So it's not often that I share Juice Plus with somebody that I'm thinking it would be a good fit for. I earn the right to do that. So I spent a lot of time listening, and only after some time, then do I come in with an email or a text saying, hey, I was thinking about you, something you shared really just register with me that you might be interested in something that my family and I've been doing for a few years. If I shared with you more, would you watch a video if I send it over? And then kind of go into that. But listening is key. Second, I utilize social media. But for those of you that have been around for a while, you're like, you do? Because you're never on it. Yes, I do not post on social media, but that does not mean that I'm not using social media. So that is an area that I need to grow in. Like, I wish I could be Emily Otten, but I am not. So I didn't even have Facebook, you guys, until I started Juice Plus. So this isn't a realm that I'm super comfortable with. I tend to be just more of a private person, and I don't love putting myself out there. So I'm growing, and every time I post, I know that I should post more. I posted on the Tower Garden this past week, and I sold 3 towers with a 4th on the way. So I should definitely be posting more. But I utilize social media to find out about other people. And I do that. Who is having a birthday, right? Who is pregnant? And unfortunately, who is sick? I mean, people put everything out there. They got a cancer diagnosis, they're telling the Facebook world. So I utilize Facebook to find out and then to be able to reach out individually. So then I'm going to Facebook Messenger them. Hey, saw your recent post about your daughter. Have no idea if you've ever thought about nutrition as a way possibly, to help that. Would you be interested? And go into that. So that's the second way that I feel like I have found a lot of my customers is through social media. And then finally asking for referrals. So if I have had a happy customer for a while, I'm going to ask, who else do you know? Because hopefully they have seen changes. I mean, if they've been with me a year or two, I'm going to ask, who else do you want to know about this? So those are my 3 ways that I find customers.
I love that. Reach out. No, wait, you said find out and then reach out. I'm like, have I been using social media wrong? No. I mean, definitely you want to be putting out posts, but wow, that is amazing. I love that. It's like a little secret weapon.
It's a sly way to use social media.
I like it. No, but it's good. You're building that relationship, and it really comes back to listening. And that's a lot what we've been learning in this Ditch the Pitch that we just got finished in our book club reading, to ask better questions and be interested versus interesting. So I think you do a great job at that for sure. Okay, so how do you go about caring for your customers once they've ordered? So yes, I want to order Juice Plus, now what?
Yeah, so I think when 3 things that come to mind is I check my office weekly for who's shipping out, right? I mean, this is kind of basic stuff, but in the beginning I didn't do that. And then people were getting their Juice Plus and maybe they didn't want it, so I make sure at weekly check-in under those business alerts to find out who's shipping out. I'm always contacting them at that point, asking. A lot of them do get emails, but I think it never hurts for them to hear from us too. And it's just a great excuse to make contact with them. Second of all, I'm utilizing the emails from the company. I would be lost without those, right? The 10-day email, your customer's been on Juice Plus for 10 days. I think a 30-day email, a 3-month email. So I'm pretty organized as far as like my emails go. So when an email comes in, I leave it there until I take care of it. So I make sure I reach out with every one of those. So I know I'm touching base, and then I'm inviting to events, those customers. I'm seeking to invite, my goal is to invite each customer to one event, during the quarter, right? During that 4 months, if I can find one event that I think would resonate with them, at least trying to continue the education. I heard training that really was convicting about a year ago that said, your job of education begins really the moment they order. Like, it hasn't ended. Now you have to continue to remind them of why they want to keep taking Juice Plus. And I was not doing that. It is hard. Like, let's be honest, when you're building a business, it is hard to do all the things. I mean, you're wanting to find new team and you're wanting to find new customers and you're trying to stay qualified, and then to care for customers, that always kind of came last. I feel like I'm at a point right now in my business where I can just kind of relax a little bit and do that good customer care. So I want to say to the newer person, I get that you can't do everything, and that's okay too. You just do the best that you can do. And then finally, I send postcards from Mrs. Emily Otten, who she designed them. If you guys have seen them or not seen them, but they're so cute, and they just have all these little tips. So if I get a new customer, I write out a little postcard. I have postcard stamps and drop that in the mail. And it just gives, create a drop station, and it's all, marketing pro. It looks really great. So I do that for new customers.
I love it. I remember learning that the number one reason that people will cancel is because they get overstocked. And so you do not want their order to ship out if they are already like backstocked on their order. So that definitely is number one. Who's shipping out next? I love the idea about the emails, using those to your advantage, inviting to events, awesome, and postcards, great job. Okay, so let's move on to team. How do you share the business with others? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, it looks like becoming confident yourself. So in the beginning, I had no desire to share this business with anybody. And God was so gracious to me, because the first person that joined my team asked me to have a party. She's like, could I have a party and invite my friends and you could tell them about this? And I was like, what? Okay, yeah. And then she got like 7 orders. So I was like, had to tell her, I have to tell you, like, you could do this. So I like did a little spreadsheet and showed her all the money, like the retail sales profit. I'm like, are you sure you want me to have this? Well, once she saw that, she's like, oh yeah, maybe I'll join. So, she ended up being a QSC, but I wasn't comfortable in the beginning. So again, if you're new and that isn't your thing yet, that's okay. It will come. It will come as you become more confident and you're around the community and you're hearing other people's stories. I mean, that's the key. You have to own your own story. And once you own it and you're confident about what it's done for you and your life and your family, how can you not share it? That takes time though. And that's okay. That's what I'm seeing. Like, it's been 3 years. I'm at a different place than I was. This is all a journey. It's all a growth journey for sure. So now what I do is I identify people specifically that I want to work with. So it's not that I'm not offering it to everybody. Certainly if somebody has a larger order, I'm going to tell them about Partner Plus, but I'm also very specific about the person I want to work with. And I am going to reach out to them individually. I'm going to, for me, I will email them or text. I will, just give them a genuine compliment of why I enjoy them, of why I would really love to share a little bit more about what I'm doing. I always give the caveat, I don't know if this would be for you or not, but I would love the opportunity to share more with you. Would you be willing to get together for a coffee? So I go one-on-one first. That's really my just kind of where I am comfortable doing that. So I'm not as comfortable on social media, putting myself out there. I'm very comfortable meeting one-on-one. So I do that. And then I'm usually kind of thinking about an event that's coming up. So for instance, I was just talking to my friend Andy today. There's a woman I want to reach out to, and I know we have an event at Jeanette's on the 19th. I want to try to meet with her before then so that I can then invite her into the business meeting. So I've kind of twofold. I do an individual meeting or a phone call, right? Maybe they're out of town, so it's a phone call. And then I have something I want to plug them into. So the next thing would be to do an event. And I have really, really had a lot of success with, we used to call them BYOBs. Now that's like hope and health for the future, but something where we have more than ourselves speaking and they get to hear other people's stories. So I would say those are my two ways of identifying team. Yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. I love that. I am over here like taking notes. I love it. I don't know if this is for you or not. That is brilliant. So it just lets them off the hook. Maybe they're not interested, but maybe they are. So that's awesome. Okay. And let's see. Got 2 more questions. You are doing amazing. We've got 10 minutes. We're doing great. Okay. So how about supporting your team and helping them grow their own teams? Do you have any tips for us?
Yeah, well, I think, 2 things that we have been pretty consistent at least, in the last year is our team individually tries to plan 2 events a month. That's kind of our goal. Since COVID, things have really shifted, obviously, from in-person more to online. So there's always a ton of things to invite to online. But if we can have 2 events in the month, 1 product focus and 1 business focus, we are doing well. And then our team knows just that we can build into those, and we really try to really push towards those. So we usually do a product focus event. It's going to be a salad in a jar. That's kind of our go-to. We just had one. Was it Nikki? Was it last week? Or yeah, last week, I think. And it was great. And just, again, the excuse to come together, the excuse to just be together, building salads in community is a good thing. And then a business focused one too, which have been the hope and health for your future, where I will play a video if I need to, right? If I can have someone there in person, I will. My team shares, but sometimes we've, played a video of Leanne Harris or Julie Muse, and that's great too. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have, you can stand up and do it yourself, but you can also utilize, we have so many great videos too. So that, and then I think the second way is we have been really consistent about doing congratulations calls, congrats calls, and that's no matter what. So if we have somebody that partnered with the business because they want to get a better price on their Juice Plus, we are still going to do a welcome call. And at that welcome call, we're going to, the standard line, right? I'm going to let you know what the, the next step is in our promotions, and you get to decide what you want to do, but we're at least going to let you know. And prime example was last week, I did one of these for Jenny Terry, And the woman like listened to me, and I said, so, does anybody come to mind when I'm sharing, about this, my story or anything? She goes, no, I don't know anybody. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you never know. So it kind of ended like that. I was like, okay, well, I guess maybe not for her. Well, within like 3 hours, she had sent it out to 13 people. She got to Express Track to P+, and now she's working on her Q. So here, you just don't know. So then the next congrats call was, hey, congratulations, you did P+. Would you like to know about the next thing? Yeah. In fact, we didn't even ask her. She's like, what's the next promotion? So don't count anybody out. Congrats calls are where it's at. Just get them on the phone with your upline. It works. So I'd say that's the other thing that we've done real consistently.
I love that. That's awesome. When do you find time to do all these calls? That's amazing.
I know, that was another thing. Like, when do I work my business? Because I homeschool my 8 kids. So I do something, I guess the official name of that is time blocking. Like I'm consistent with working my business, and you're not gonna do well in anything without being consistent and being, intentional. So I don't, and my team pretty much knows I'm not going to respond to anything in the morning. I really want to be present with my kids during homeschool. And if I get off track, I get off track, and then I'm just rattled. So I really do my best to not even check my phone in the morning. So I work my business in the afternoon during nap time, and any mama of littles knows what time that is, 1:30 to 3:30 every afternoon. So that's where you'll find me doing calls, and as much as I can fitting in there, and in the evening sometimes too, I'll take a call. But I really have limited it as much to I didn't want to trade. I mean, Juice Plus is a part of what I do, but it's not the main thing, right? The main thing is still being a wife and a mom and a homeschool educator. That's my main thing.
I love that. Yep, time blocking and consistency. Consistency is key. Okay, well, finally, to wrap it up, we do have like 7 minutes left. Woohoo! Okay, so I would actually like to ask some of Julie's team for their feedback. I want to know what you like most or best about Julie's leadership and her guidance. Like, what is your, what do you love when you think about Julie? So, Nikki, are you on here? Thought I saw you pop on here earlier.
I'm here.
Okay, yay! So we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, awesome. I'd love to share. Yes. Well, first of all, I just want to say when I first got invited to this team by Julie 3 years ago, I didn't know anything about sales or direct sales companies. And it was because of the relationship I had with Julie. As she was sharing, I trusted her. And that's why I jumped in. And I'm so glad that I did, because I knew that she was someone who does everything well and she's successful at what she does. So I thought, okay, I can do this because I can learn from her. And I have. She's really helped me. The thing that I love most about Julie's team is our prayer calls that we do every week. Every Monday, we do a prayer call on Zoom. And I love it because we've put God over everything. And I really think it's been why our team has been so successful, because we get together and we pray for the fields, the farmers, the product. We've prayed for the company when there was scams going on during COVID. We pray for our prayer requests, our team members, our customers, for their success stories. We pray for them to know the Lord. We've actually had an amazing testimony recently of someone sharing the Lord with one of their customers. And then we kind of share what's going on, praises, and what we're looking for the week. And we all lift each other up and come together. And it's really just bonded that team in such a unique way. And then we do go over the events, like what can we invite into for the week or next week, or Zooms or in-persons. And we will share, okay, how are you inviting? What's verbiage ideas? And we just kind of go over all those things. And it's really just kind of glued us together and bonded us together as a team that's just moving forward together. And so that's probably the biggest thing that I can say that Julie leads every Monday that has really helped the team, and for me, definitely helped me.
Awesome. Oh, I love that. I'm like, how do I get on these prayer calls? I need to have my own prayer calls. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Got me like tearing up over here. Okay. I know we have maybe somebody. Does Jenny Terry, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, okay. Would you like to share?
Hi. Sure. If I cut out, let me know, because sometimes when I have my video on, I can't have both on. So yeah, I'm grateful to be able to speak about our lovely leader, Julie, tonight. I would say, is it the same question, I guess, as Nikki?
Yeah, what do you like
I would
best
say,
about
I
it?
would say that, yeah, I would say the three-way calls have definitely been our biggest, from the beginning, since I started with Juice Plus, even, when I'm just trying to get a customer that is maybe on the edge and trying to decide, those three-way calls have been, I mean, I'm sure I kind of wear her out sometimes with it, but she is so dedicated. And that's the next thing I want to add, is just that okay, babe, just that her dedication, and she's compassionate and positive, even when even maybe when I'm kind of down or I'm having a bad day, she has a way of speaking into me and lifting me up. So I did want to say that, but I would say the three-way call was the biggest thing. And then just those team chats on Voxer, like I can always bounce off her when I'm struggling to maybe come up with a response. So verbiage, I can always kind of chime in and get, because it's always good to just kind of get some feedback. And she's just very dedicated with that. And I think as a leader, as she was saying, with her time blocks and how she does all of that, that shows us too, and gives us a good representation of, how to do that. So that's been good as well. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I love those three-way calls, dedicated, positive, good feedback. I love it. Okay. And then is Candace on here? Would you like to share?
Yeah, sure. Hi.
Yay.
Thanks for having me. I have known Julie for about 6 or 7 months. I joined as a customer and met her at an event. So I joined as a partner, but really just to be a customer. And now I've changed my whole spectrum of thought on it. And what I love most about Julie is everything you all said, but I also love that she's like super direct, no pressure. She keeps it short-winded. I have 4 businesses, 2 direct sales, and I'm a super busy massage business. So I love that I can reach out to her and she's not going to because she's busy. So she's just going to make it super direct and super easy to understand. And she always inspires me. And I do love her Voxer messages on there. If she has any feedback or if I ask her a question, she'll just give me super quick audio. And then I'm so excited that I'm like, okay, well, if I don't have time to do it, at least I have that audio when I get home late at night to do it with. And I just put, yeah, you're super kind and uplifting and positive. And I don't think I would be. I'm under her team under someone else who's also a super busy mom and stays busy in that side of things. And I don't think I would be this passionate about Juice Plus without Julie Zilke, because the way she shares it and her story and her kids. And so I just think you're a great leader because you're super direct, but very compassionate and knowledgeable in that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Candace.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I am like totally filled up. My cup has been like filled up. And I could say from all of us that we are totally inspired by you, Miss Julie Zilke. You've totally filled up our love tanks tonight. So amazing, amazing call. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And I took so many notes. I wrote all over my paper in my notes. So I hope you guys took some good notes too. We love you, Julie. Oh my gosh, so many great comments in the chat too. So, all right, I will share this on our team page. All right, thanks guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you, ladies. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Ember.